always refer back to him as a colleague, as a contemporary, as a senior. I have always looked up to, but an expert, of course, in international studies. He's worked on migration, precious research he has produced, and a long coveted career as a professor at the Jamia Millia Islamia, a very reputed university of the country. And he has served as the director of the HRDC of the Jamia Millia Islamia for decades. And he has worked there, and as part of his work there, he organized the LEAP program. As you know, the LEAP program, one leg is in a foreign university, so he took a batch of Indian professors to the United States, and he's been at the forefront, kind of a representative of the HRDC directors. When our name was changed from HRDC to MMTTC, Professor Anisur Rahman was the one who gave the speech on behalf of the directors in front of the Minister of Education and the UGC chairman and everybody. So, a pleasure and honor to have you here, Professor Rahman, with us today.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. And you can see it's a large batch growing. And the numbers are growing, ticking by the second. And shortly we will be over 100. Participants are very responsive. They are representing so many disciplines. And I'm sure they will be energized and sensitized by your lecture. So it's over to Professor Anisur Rahman for his global presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for providing a wonderful opportunity indeed to interact with the galaxy of intellectuals who have joined this
Good morning, ma'am. Good
premier
morning, sir.
institution of higher learning. So the topic or the issue which has been assigned to me is higher education system in our own country. What are the challenges and way forward means opportunities? What kind of opportunities our country and we all are having in order to make this country a great nation? So higher education, we know pretty well that the very important tool, one of the very important tools, one of the very important areas through which lot of transformation is expected and a lot of, I think, change, social change is expected on the part of the society. And this is faculty induction program, I guess. So this program is in fact made for nearly university and college professors. So I know that you all are very young and dynamic, and you all need this kind of food for thought so that we can be helpful or we can become instrumental in order to translate this country or in order to make this country a great country or developed country or the Vikshit Bharat. That is the idea, that is the vision this great country is having. Since we all have played our inning, so now it's your turn to play your very active role in order to make this country or in order to make this country by your own contribution. I am sure that you all are going to contribute in a very big way, and we all belong to the sector of higher education. So we need to know what is the status of higher education in our own country, and we also are aware of this fact that the entire world, the globe, is now one community or one village that has been reduced, and what we call that the whole world is globalized. So if anything happens in any part of the world, with the fraction of the second we get to know, and we become conscious of that. So how we are going to reap the benefits of this globalized village, of this globalized community, and there's a free flow of goods, services, human mobility, and everything has become very possible. And where do we stand at the global level, on the global map, especially in terms of higher education, or what we in terms of education, because education has been considered to be very important for any country, for the growth, development of any nation, for any society. And today I have been given this kind of responsibility not to teach, but rather to sensitize to all of us. And we all have the very idea behind this program is to sensitize or to motivate to all of us by our own exchange of ideas. If you see the philosophy of this center, if you see the journey of the center, it's lengthy or it's long in the sense that it all started of the last national education policy way back in 1986 or 87, and Aligarh Muslim University is having one of them. So previously it was called Academic Staff College. In the meanwhile, it was started coming as the UGC Human Resource Development Center. Now it is called Malviya Mission Teachers Training Centers. So you can understand the significance and the importance of this center. And this center is exclusively made for the teachers or the academics or the scholars. It provides a good chance or the wonderful opportunity to exchange our ideas. And today we have got this kind of chance to learn from each other. So I will try my level best to discuss with you uh, regarding the Indian higher education system, which is considered to be one of the largest system in the world. Now, one of the largest in the sense the third largest system in the world. Means it just comes after United States of America and China. But you must be wondering that then what is the challenge? So if you see this in the absolute sense, it is the third largest. But if you see the requirement of this great nation, of this great society, I think again there is a serious catch, there is a serious problem, there is a serious challenge. But at the same time, there is a silver lining that is existing within that. So let me problematize the issue. Let me discuss with you the issues and the challenges and the way forward. I would like to give you a larger picture. You must be aware of this fact that now it is called, India is called as a country of youths, means majority of the population belongs to the age group of 15 to 35, means it is considered the most working age or the active group, means youth or the young. So India is called as a young country, and we are also aware of this fact that India is passing through the stage of demographic dividend. Now means we are having the benefit of demographic dividend. So here, what is, you must be wondering what is the point that needs to be brought to the notice that why we should talk about the demographic dividend. Is there any logic? Is there any rationality behind it? Yes. Very, very, I think, important issue that needs to be brought to the fore and we must discuss. Because if we have the demographic dividend, means 66% or plus percent population belongs to the category of the age group of 15 to 35. That is considered to be the working age group. And here is a chance and opportunity if we will be able to convert this young population or the bulk of the young population into the human capital or the human resource, it will become the big assets for the nation. Whenever we discuss population, as we say that now India has replaced China in terms of the population, means India has become the first country or the most populous country on the earth. You must be wondering, and we all wonder that what is good thing that we need to discuss. But it is the fallout and it is the outcome of this working age group. So if our higher education system especially will be able to convert this population, because how this working age group could be converted into the human capital, for that we need education, right kind of education. So it could be done with the help of education, providing a skills and what we call it, a skills training to this working age group. And of course, it is also important to provide the health facilities to all. So by giving education, and training and skills, I think we will do it. And here is an opportunity, and here is education. So it becomes taking this view into the mind, and for variety of reasons, it becomes very important to ensure quality, means improvement of ensuring or enhancing quality in the domain of education as a whole, or especially in the domain of higher education, in the sector of higher education, becomes pertinent for all of us. And who will do this? We, the teachers, are being expected to play a very significant role in order to convert or in order to translate this big chunk of the population into the human capital. Once we will do it, our country can shine. And we all know that now our great nation has a vision to become the Vikshit Bharat or developed nation by 2047. And that period is not very long. That time is not long. So within 25 years or two decades, we need to do that. So here is a golden opportunity for all of us, for this great nation, to shine like anything. So for catch up or to catch up with the fast changing scenario of the world, because we have a lot of competition for that matter. And we all are aware of this fact that higher education, especially if you see in terms of quality and quantity, means access to education, there is a serious catch within that. Hence, if you see the policy document, National Education Policy 2020, I think it is clearly said that by 2035, we need to enhance the gross enrollment ratio to 50%, which is right now hovering around 25 to 26%. Even we have not crossed the gross enrollment ratio, which is of the global gross enrollment ratio. Leave the country which are considered to be the developed nation like United States of America. If you see the gross enrollment ratio in the United States of America, it is in the range of 85 to 90%. And if you consider the status of GER, gross enrollment ratio in the European Union Society of the countries, again, it is above 60%, 60 to 70%. In case of Germany, Germany has crossed 70% plus. In case of France, it is 65%, and like that. And here we have set the target to achieve the target of 50%. If you see the scenario of the gross enrollment ratio of our own country, 15 or 20 years before, I think it was very pathetic. It was extremely poor in the sense hardly 10%, 10 to 20%. So our policy makers and we all have started working in this direction to take up or to increase the gross enrollment ratio. So today, if you see, I think 26 to 27% we have reached. So for the last 75 years, I hope you all are listening to me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So what basically we have planned, is it okay if I could, after finishing my deliberation, I should give you also trouble to ask the question, queries, and observation at the end of the deliberation. So my time is till 10:30. So if, with your permission, if you say so, I will finish by 10:10. Is fine for you, so that you could also get time for your own questions and observation. Unless
Yes,
until we make our program a two-way process,
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
things will not move in the right direction. So let me now finish it first, because we are connected online. So it has its own merit and limitation also. Along with the merit, we also have some limitations. So I hope if anything is there, you kindly raise your hand at least, and you can let me know. So what basically I am talking that how we are going to convert our higher education, how we are going to ensure quality, means enhance quality, at the same time quantity expansion means access to education, means we have the target to achieve up to from 26 to 50%, and the time is not very I think not enough. So only by 12 or 13 years we need to do this. So it seems to be difficult task in the sense that for the last 75 years since independence, we are working very hard. We are doing our best so that we could enhance the quality as well as the access to education. So if you see the scenario of higher education, before independence, situation was not good, not encouraging. But after having a lot of education reforms, because from time to time, many committee and commissions were constituted in order to bring a reform in the higher education, in the education as a whole, and we have achieved such to a to a larger extent. Let me tell you, but there's a lot to be done in this area because education is going to bring a lot of transformation in our own society. Many social evils are there, and here I would like when I discuss with you about what we call it that we need to increase or enhance the gross development ratio. There's a serious catch within that. What is the catch and what is the problem? Ours is a society which is called as a country of contrast, is a country of diversity, is a country of differentiation also. Let me tell you. Means if we are seeing that 26% or 27% GER is there, you are also aware of this fact that many socially disadvantaged sections of the society are left out. Their children are not represented, are not included. So ours is a society which is excluded in the many sections of the society is already. So it is the responsibility of the teachers like all of us to think about as how to make our policy or our approach, our society, our economy that would be all inclusive. Means 26%. Only by enhancing or increasing to 50%, the things will not move in the right direction. So what we need to do to take every section of the society into the consideration means access to education will become very important to each and every one. Then we can think of a inclusive society or equitable society or progressive society or peaceful society for that matter. And that is the motto and that is the purpose of education. So how we are going to realize or how we are going to realize the vision or achieve the vision of this great nation, that is to see our country into the category of the developed nation by 2047. So it is the larger picture, and here already I have illustrated and I have given the example that how we can do it. Means we are sitting on the pool of potential human capital. So if we ensure quality in the education as a whole, definitely we will be able to achieve the target or we will realize the vision of the developed nation. No doubt about that. Once we have the human capital, that is going to contribute to the growth and the development of the of our own society in many ways. I am giving you one example. See, our diaspora or the migration or the human capital to which this country has supplied to many countries, especially to our extended neighborhood that is called West Asia. So about 9 million means 90 lakhs approaching 1 crore Indians are working in that region. And do you know the benefit of that one? One immediate benefit is that it has reduced the burden on the unemployment. On the other hand, if you see the inflow of the remittances to our own country, it's a matter of celebration that we have replaced China and we have left China far behind as compared to the inflow of the remittances, and the volume of the remittances has gone up to 125 billion US dollar. So how this inflow of the remittances is being used for the growth and development of this nation, because it is helpful in order to eradicate poverty and unemployment, even inequality, uh, to that region, to that state where a lot of intensive migration has taken place, and diaspora, if you see. So the diaspora is beneficial to this great nation in many ways. So whenever our prime minister, a current prime minister, even in a former prime minister visited many countries of the world, important countries of the world, we see the importance and the significance of the diasporic community. Means those Indians who have left India and they are working in different parts of the world, or they have settled down. Thus, they are considered to be the cultural ambassador of this great nation. So, if we impart the training and education to this working age group, we will not only supply the human capital to our own national economy, but also to the world economy. Or in a way, we are going to be benefited in a variety of ways. So here is an opportunity to available to this higher education, and we are being expected a lot that we must play our very active role. Means as it has been considered that education in the form of education, the sector of education, basically we are going to play our very crucial role. And we all know also that teachers like all of us is considered to be the front, I think basically we are considered to be the very important I think factor who can bring a lot of change by transacting the knowledge. In this knowledge society, we can make the society a wonderful society, knowledgeable society, and that is going to benefit the society in many ways. So what basically my argument to all of you is that how we are going to play our very active role in order to educate or give the training or give the skills, the skill development to these young minds. And it has been seen that in case of the Asian tigers or the East Asian countries, they have taken the benefit and advantage of their demographic dividend when they had this kind of opportunity. So now we have this kind of opportunity. And if you see the National Education Policy 2020, all these provisions have been given and has been discussed in great details. And you must be aware that apart from this faculty induction program, NEP orientation sensitization has been undertaken by each and every MMTTC, which is around 127, are working tirelessly in order to impart the training to all the professors. Means not only young minds like all of you, but everybody, which is considered to be 15 lakhs or plus teachers or the higher education teachers are working in this direction. So we have had a very good kind or the progressive policy that is called National Education Policy, despite its limitation. But it's very dynamic. If you see this policy, and if you study this policy, I think you will reach the conclusion that despite some limitations, it has a lot of promises. So how that promises could be brought into the practice, it all depends on the smartness and competency and motivation of the teachers like all of us. Because we are going to play, or we are still playing our very important role. Taking these issues into the mind, this kind of a structure has come into the picture, like MMTTC or Academic Staff College, that is providing a good opportunity to share our thoughts and experiences. Giving this kind of background, let me now open you give me a minute so that I could open my slide PPT, and we will discuss it in greater details. So just for a minute, please. This is okay, I guess. This is fine.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, sir.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
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 sir.
sir.
So much.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let us proceed, because so many slides, so many things. Just have it look on it. These are the quotations just to energize you, just to motivate to all of us. See, educate. What kind of potential education is having, education is the most powerful weapon. We all know it, which we can use to change the world, change the society. So is the case of our own nation. So it has a lot of potential. The beautiful thing about learning or education is no one can take it away from anybody, from us. It is an education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope, and hope breeds peace. So, what is the ultimate aim and objective of any society, for any economy, for any country? I think peace and stability is the ultimate. When there is peace, there is happiness. Without I think peace, we cannot have the happiness or the state of happy life and everything. So this is all very much related to education. And only for administrative purpose, we have distinguished, we have made the distinction between primary education, secondary education, and tertiary education. These all sectors are interwoven and interconnected to each other. Unless until we have a very good quality of primary and secondary education, we cannot think of a better quality education, because it is the foundation. When the foundation is weak, we cannot think of the castle, which would be strong. So, giving this kind of background, so what is the basic and philosophy and the mission of higher education? Basically, this is based on four pillars. These are the pillars on which university and the colleges are made for, in order to enhance knowledge, or in order to generate knowledge, new ideas, new perspective. Basically, educate. That is the purpose. That is the function. That is the role of higher education in any country, for that matter. And we all are here to. Why do we generate ideas? And basically to challenge the untruth, false, and bring the truth. And of course, critical thinking and the idea is the very important function, and the what we call it as the role of higher education. Universities, colleges provide a good chance that to exchange our ideas. Whatever I am saying is not at all final. It is all tentative. You can challenge, I can challenge to someone, so that we can reach to a certain conclusion. So whatever existing, if we see these things that's as it is, so things will not move. See, we are where we have reached today. So this is the magic, and this is the, I think, role which has to be played by our critical thinking. So we see everything very critically. Means what are the pros and the cons, and conserving culture and civilization. So taking these four pillars, four ideas, four philosophy into the mind, any higher education or any system of higher education, not only in our own country, for that matter, any country of the world works. So let us now make a move. What is the essence and the purpose of education, or higher education more specifically? Basically, it is there to create a credible education system which would be capable of ensuring inclusive quality education and lifelong learning opportunity for all. As I mentioned to you that ours is a society, or for that matter any society, for that matter, lot of social evils are there. So how the function of education, the purpose of education to ameliorate or to remove all this. Take the example of poverty, take the example of unemployment, take the example of gender inequality, which is persisting not only in our own society, but it is there in every sub society. Hence, if you see the um, sustainable development goals, which all started in 2015, it will continue till 2030. So if you see the goals, so one goal, I think fourth goal is relating to gender equality, how we can bring gender sensitivity, gender equality, and how we can make the society. Unless until we are going to do this, the things will not move in the right direction. And it is the responsibility of the teacher to make the class gender sensitive. Because if you see the total composition demographic composition I am talking of, I think women constitute in our own population, national population, they constitute 50%. But if you see the share and their presence in any sector of the economic, like labor participation or in economic activity, even in politics, they are grossly underrepresented. Even in the sector of higher education, they are not. Their presence is not satisfactory. So we as a intellectual, as we consider ourselves to the intellectual, which is considered to be the mind of the society, means engine and the mind of the society, we need to work in this direction. So we need to create the class which would be gender sensitive. So we should, as we say that charity begins at home. So why we all are discussing? So that we should start walking in this direction very vigorously and very profoundly in a big way. Then we can think of a society which would be gender just society, gender or social justice based society. So it is the function and the essence of education. It is also there to produce students, means young minds, because you are the basically going to produce and going to translate the knowledge which would be very very important of this 21st century young minds. So it is higher education or education is basically there to produce the students equipped with the knowledge, skills, attitude, and values that are required to lead a productive life. That is the productive life or peaceful life, whatever is said. And also to participate in country's development process. So how we are going, how are our students, young minds are going to contribute in the development process of this nation. And let me tell you, I think economists have come with their idea that if India wants to become the Vikshit Bharat or the developed nation by 2047, we need to grow. Means India needs to grow to 8 to 9%. So we are just below that 6 to 7%. That is the growth. So if our national, uh, our nation is going to give the education, rightful kind of education, training, because we all know that there is a ministry which is dealing with skill development. So if we provide the rightful kind of skills and training and education to these young minds, to these students, definitely they will become the part and parcel of the development process. So it is also to respond to the ever-changing requirements of the globalizing knowledge-based society. So we all know that change is taking place very rapidly. So rapid change is taking place. So what kind of response we as a nation, we as the system of higher education is going to respond? See, whatever the things are existing today and what was existing yesterday, that is not the same, and tomorrow it is going to be definitely different. So how we are going to respond means what kind of curriculum we are going to have, so that we could address all the challenges. As we if you see this 17 goals, sustainable development goals, that has been given to each and every country. So every country is required to bring a lot of change in terms of how to eradicate poverty, how to deal with gender inequality. It is considered to be the very important impediments in the way of development. Not only this, 17 goals, if you see, I think that is prevailing in almost every country of the world. There is only in terms of, I think, degree, there is a problem that it differs. So we need to deal with globally, we need to deal at the national or the local level. So education is nothing but to the response to the ever-changing requirements. So what kind of requirement was there in the past? See, now we have the new education policy. There's no politics as such, but we all know that after the gap of 35 years, 3.5 decades, lot changes has taken place. Whatever provision was there in the last national education policy, I think that was not good enough to address the multifarious kind of challenges to which our society, our country is having today. So there was a need of new education policy as we did it in 1968. Thereafter, again, after the gap of 15, 16 years, the other policies. So now this policy has been created in such a way that it is dynamic in the sense that it is going to stay for again 1.5 decades for that matter. So all this kind of provision has been given, and it is nothing but the what we call it effort being made by the educationist or the scientist like all of you. So let me now tell you that it is also to develop responsible citizens who respect the Indian tradition, acceptance of diversity, and promote social cohesion and religious amity. So how we can think, as we often say that ours is a society which is diverse society. Unity and diversity is our strength. There's no doubt about that. So we need to work to reinforce all these things. So our CJ society, which is the multi-religious, multicultural, multi-ethnic, whatever you just put multi, I think it will fit to our own society. And it is, let me tell you, very empathetically and very categorically, that it is our indeed strength to which we often celebrate, and we must say it is a matter of celebrations that many society in the West have started to make or convert their country as the multicultural society, and ours is a society which is multicultural, multi-religious, multi-ethnic since time immemorial, since for a long time, since ancient times. So we have the benefit, we have the advantage many in many ways. So how we are going to reap the benefits of our multicultural society? So I think this is very important. And again, the role of the education, especially the higher education, matters in many ways. So let us now come to the point specifically what basically we are going to address in education. So these are the challenges, these are the issues that needs to be taken care of by higher education. So what are the key challenges? Growth and the access. Already I have discussed with you about how growth and the access means providing access to education, as if you see the philosophy of what we call the University Grant Commission, it is clearly said that education for all means education is not for only a particular section of the society as it happened in the past, or the when the British Empire was there, or the when it was the pre-independence. I think the education was made for a certain section of the Indian population so that they could be, after getting acquire education or getting education, they would become instrumental in order to serve the purpose of the British Empire or British India at that time. So it's not the case happened. So how to make the education or the higher education, which would be massive means massification of education has become the need of the day today. For that, gradually we need to increase the gross enrollment ratio, 50 and then 60 or like that. So it would be ongoing process. So in that direction we need to work. So I will show you quality is the second concern. If you see all these Kothari Commission and many reports, all the time it has been reported, it has been uh, I think concerns have been expressed by all these reports that quality is a serious concern. And see, even this present dispensation has come with the idea that we need to at least create 50 world-class university. Means quality, or what we call the excellence, has become the buzzword. How we can bring excellence in the sector of education, more specifically the higher education, if we will not be able to do it, I think becoming the developed nation or realizing the vision of Vikshit Bharat will become remote in that way. Equity and social justice. How to achieve equity and the social justice, as I see, and you see, I think education would play a very important role in order to bring equality or equity and social justice, as how we are going to bring all the socially disadvantaged sections of the society. I'm giving you one example over here, that we all see that whatever the education, I think why we say that it is the third largest system, because if you see the present number of the university at the time of independence or the 50s, it was hardly 20 or 28 universities were established. And if you see the total number of the university today, I think it has crossed 1200 university. I'm saying on the basis of the data which is provided by Ministry of Education and through the University Grants Commission, including the private university. They are also working. They are also made for acquiring, for providing education to our population. And total colleges which are existing today has gone up to or approximately 50,000, and a stand-alone institution number has also reached the level of 12,000. Hence, in terms of number, in terms of that, I think we are considered the third largest. But so far as the case of quality is concerned, again, there is a serious problem. So we all know that what kind of problems our educational institutions are facing. So we need to remove all the challenge, and it could be only made possible with the help of the young minds or the young teachers like all of you. So equity and the social justice, only by achieving the target like 27% to 50%, things will not go in the desirable direction. We need to see within that, so that every section in terms of the gender and the people who are basically living in the rural areas, all these educational institutions are located, means university and colleges are located in urban areas and what we call it in the cities. But ours is a country which is considered as a country of villages, uh, country of villages. So majority of the population who are not able to send their children to the university and the colleges. So we need to see as how to take them into the consideration. And of course, the skills and the employability. If you see the report provided by educational reforms, especially the Kothari Commission, even thereafter, means there's a big mismatch between the academia on one hand, on the other hand, industry. So not any kind of compatibility is existing. Means we don't have the link. Means there's a serious layer. These linkages are not strong linkages are being we are not able to establish the linkages between academia and the industry. So there's a mismatch between this. What kind of requirement is there on the part of the industry? We are not able to catch up, and it is not reflected in our syllabus or our curriculum. So now the time has come closer and have a very close linkages between between the two very important dimensions. Then we can work, and then we can be able to provide the students who would be employable, as it has been said in the report that we are producing unemployable youths, young men and the women. So who are not able to get the who are not skilled in that way as it is being required by the industry. So we need to see. Second, next one is curriculum development. So we are banking and so how we are going to check out, how we are going to frame our curriculum so that it would be not only addressing to the industry, not addressing to the issues relating to our nation, but global. That would be in that would have the global approach, so that when our students would be passed out from the system to which we all have developed or are developing, they could compete in the global markets. So they could compete not only in the local or the national market, but the global market. So we need to understand the requirement of the global market or the global society, because the whole world is now interconnected or interwoven. Every country is has become interdependent. So this higher education has this kind of potential. ICT potential not fully tapped by the university and the colleges. I think you must agree with me that how we are going to use all these technological development unless until we bring these all into full potential or the optimum utilization of the ICT, information and communication technology, things will not move. So let me tell you that in the pandemic period, we, due to the adversity, and adversity, you all know, provides a lot of opportunity also. So on account of the onset of the pandemic, we all have become rather more intelligent or computer savvy or online. See, it is nothing but the outcome of the pandemic that we all are connected today. Connected in the sense we have learned and we did not have any other option but to go by online, and all of a sudden we all have learned as how we are going to transact the knowledge to our students. So that thing is still continuing, and that has become the integral part of our curriculum or pedagogy. And why it is important, why it has been thought that let us continue with this technology, online kind of pedagogy should also be there, because we need to cater the we cater the needs of the requirement of the many, as we are far behind of our own requirement. Unless until we are going to follow the hybrid or the blended learning, things will not be in the right direction. So it has become the need of the day. So now we are following the hybrid mode, means online as well as offline. It is nothing but the blend of both the technology and everything, and how we can make our classroom rather more education friendly. Because if you see this national education policy, it is also clearly said that we need to convert the classroom in such a way that it would be student friendly or student centric or what we learner centric. So far it means it was completely dominated by teachers like all of us, means it was teacher friendly or teacher centric. So we need to convert, because they are there for acquiring education and we are there to provide the services, best services. So they are considered to be the central figure in the whole pedagogical, I think, domain. So let us now proceed. Teacher development and management. Teacher development means how we can become rather more competent. So by attending seminar, having a lot of exposure, global exposure, and by attending the workshop, by organizing the workshop, seminar, symposium, and everything, and like this, faculty induction program, then orientation program, refresher courses, and many programs are now in place, and research and development. So these are the opportunities and the challenges. If we are going to convert, if we are going to work in this direction, it will become the opportunities for all of us. So these are the targets, these are the objectives to which we need to work, and we are working as now we have this. And if you see in the 80s or the late 80s or the 90s, situation was only like that, only orientation program was being organized. So if you see today, variety of programs, see, every MMTTC is so busy to organize this kind of program for the benefit or for the professional development or the growth of the teachers like all. So this kind of system was completely missing before 80s. So ours is a country which is unique in many ways. So now we have a very good kind of institution or the place over the air, we get the chance to learn. So governance and management, again, here when we talk of education as a whole, or improvement of education or enhancing quality in the domain of higher education, not many stakeholders are there. Many stakeholders are there, like academic staff, and then top level management, that includes vice chancellor, finance officer, and all those who are sitting at the higher echelons of the pyramid, and then of course middle level functionaries, and then administrative staff, support staff. So if we are thinking of uh, bringing excellence or the quality enhancement in higher education, every stakeholder has to be taken into account. Only we are not alone. Of course, we are important, and we can say that we are the most important. But at the same time, many other, even a state, take the example of the state. If I'm just saying, I'm just stating one thing. Again, that is very important. For the last many years, 45 years, if you see the one recommendation in the National Education Policy 68, one was to at least bank or to give expenditure of 6% of our GDP should go for education. But unfortunately, it did not happen. Again, it was reiterated in the last national education policy that 6% of our GDP must be there for that. And again, it didn't happen. And ironically, again, it has been repeated in this 2020 national education policy. And if you see the scenario, the expenditure being made by states, that it is even not half, less than half, means 2.5% of the GDP is going for education as a whole. And if you see the total share out of that, I think hardly 0.6 or 0.5% is only earmarked for higher education. So it is also very pathetic. But bringing good governance and quality management in the domain of higher education, the sector of higher education has become the need of the day. I am just reminding you that when I was being introduced by the respected director, the Faiza Basi Sahiba, what basically she said that in 2018, 15 university or the academic institutions, higher education institutions were given the responsibility to organize leap in leadership for academician program. That program was basically felt that the vice chancellors and those who are holding the key positions are not up to the mark in our own country. So in order to ameliorate, in order to improve the condition, or in order to produce the visionary or potential leader, academic leader in our own country, that idea was, and that program was initiated by Ministry of Education. And unfortunately, on account of the pandemic, it got offset. Otherwise, 2 or 3 times it was organized. So it was a good initiative taken by Government of India to give the training to the top level professors, or those who at least are having the experience of 10 years at senior positions in the academics. So like this, many like RP program has been initiated by Government of India. 2, 3 programs were the flagship program initiated by Government of India. In order to bring a lot of good governance, means good governance and better management is also very important. And this research and development again is very, very important in the sense that research, if you take the quantum of research, quality of research, I think again we don't stand anywhere. Means we need to do this. Hence, we all know that NRF has been established, it is going to be established. So the function of the NRF is to give a adequate fund to all these academic institutions, means to all of us, in order to undertake a research in a big way, because the research is directly relating to development. It basically propels the development and the momentum of development and the growth of any country. And all the time, take this, how financial limitation or the problems are there. So we all know that financial, as I pointed out, so far so good. I think we have not been able to what we call it use 6%. So many times it has been recommended by the committee and commissions. it was not taken. And we all know pretty well that unless until we ameliorate the condition of education and the health, unless until we give the priority, top priority to these sectors, these social sectors, I think no society can should ignore or cannot ignore these two very important, to which we have been, I don't know, deliberately or undeliberately, we have been ignoring in our own country. So now the time has come to give importance, not only on the part of the state, but on the part of each and every stakeholder, so that we can think of quality or the excellent education system in our own country. I'm just saying, just to make my illustration a little bit more clear. See, we, as I pointed out, that we are getting a lot of remittances. So inflow of remittances is taking place in our own country on account of the outflow of the human capital, means supply of the labor, supply of the human capital from own country across the nation is taking place. In return, we are getting remittances. But see the case of higher education. You must be aware that every year lot of students are going to the European university or the North American university or Australia, New Zealand for acquiring education. Means they are, I think it means whatever the system we are having, they are not satisfied with that, thinking that if we go to European university, especially in Germany or some Scandinavian countries, we will get the job. So do you know they belong to the middle class? Means you must. I think I have come across that even some of the parents are selling their land yeah, for sending their children to other university. So why I am saying it is the agony, means we are losing our national resources, we are losing our money. On the other hand, we are getting, but we in that way we are losing, and they are going in a big way. So if we develop our own higher education system, which would be very robust, so we will not only be able to retain these students for acquiring education, but rather we can make our system in such a way so that we will be able to attract the foreigners, as it has happened in the past. If you see Nalanda Vishwavidyalaya, Bikramshila, and many in ancient times, many universities were existing, and foreign scholars used to come to acquire education. Hence, I think if you see the national, I think NEP orientation and sensitization program, 8 themes have been identified. That is very, very important. Like there would be lecture and the talk on the on Indian knowledge system. That is very important. And then multidisciplinary and holistic education is the other thing. Academic leadership, and then ICT, and of course India higher education and society. Like that, 8 themes are there, and a skill development, so like, and student diversity and inclusive education. So these are the themes which have been identified by the scholars, and that is being imparted, that is being discussed by many eminent scholars, and for the benefit of the faculty, for the benefit of all of us. So let us now move further. So I will be very quick, because already I have discussed all these things. So here I think growth in demand for higher education. So it's a challenge and it's an opportunities also. If we will be able to do it, definitely our society is going to be developed, or our society is going to be benefited enormously. So what happened in 50-51? So already I have told you the number. So how this growth in demand of higher education will be taken into account is a very important theme. That financial constraints, we all know that all the time there is a, now government is saying and the state is saying that 30% I think generation or the self generations would be made. So here already I have discussed, and what kind of expectation on the part of the, because we are considered to be the very core group amongst all the stakeholders. So how we are going to handle the students, means there should be an ability to handle a growing proportion of the students, and the diversity has become inevitable in our own class. So not only to convert our class, which would be gender friendly or gender sensitivity, but also to see how we are going to address the diversity. Diversity in terms of not only ethnicity, not only in terms of what we call it in terms of the language ethnicity, or in the background in terms of many things, many kind of diversity is there. I think in terms of cognition, we all know that there would be the group of students who are considered to be a slow learner. There are some students who are considered to be brilliant. So it is the responsibility of a teacher like all of us to handle in such a way that every students would be benefited equally or optimally or maximally. So that would be taken into account. For that matter, we need to develop our own skills. And when we are skilled, when we develop our own skills, definitely students are going to be benefiting enormously. And we need to have a look forwarding and sensitive to the needs of the. We need to be what we call it empathetic. Then I think this could be made possible. And already concerned, so we have to deal with that again. So many things have been said. So I think quality I have already highlighted. Technological change affects all disciplines. So there's a problem. So we as a see sometimes those people who say that now what is my job is only for 3 years are left, 5 years are left, like that. So what is the need to do this thing? I think in this scenario, as it is said, and it is the fact of life that teacher never retires. You are not going to technically you can retire, I can retire, or anybody can retire. But in a spirit wise, you are not going to retire. And retirement, technical retirement is also there in our own society. If you go to other European, other society, there's no any kind of concept of retirement. You can continue, especially in the academia. I think you can continue, you can teach, you can make research as long as your health permits. So that is very important, and things are going to be there in our own society. Let me tell you, when you will grow matured, when you grow senior, when you are going to retire, by that time, this is my conjecture and forecast and projection that we are going on the line on the way, as the West have already achieved or reached. So you all should be ready. I think here motivation is important. So let me now, already I have also discussed with you that need to improve women's participation. So how we can do it, and this could be very much made possible with the help of all of. There is a need to have all-inclusive policy. Means already I have discussed all the. Just I am showing to all of you. And then changing demands of the labor market today. Again, we need to formulate, we need to change our syllabus according to that. Means how we are going to address the global challenges, global market challenges, global times. So I think our syllabus should be, and how it could be made possible. It could be only made possible. We have the exposure of global exposure, then we will be able to do that. And this objective and this kind of thing is not remote in the sense that we can do it. Sometimes we go to attend seminar conferences across the country, or some of the best universities available on the globe or on the world. We go. So when we go, we bring a lot of ideas, perspective, vision. So why don't we implement it in our own country? So patterns of unemployment are changing. See, even pandemic, now we are talking what kind of labor situation, labor market would be there in the post-pandemic scenario, because it has changed. This pandemic has brought a lot of change globally. So we need to see, not only this, it is the responsibility and the function of the academia or the university to guide, not only to provide employment or not to provide some, but to even guide the industry what would be the requirement of the industry after uh, 10 or 15 years down the line. Then we can compete in the labor market. We can compete. So now time is very fluid. So we all need to ready for all the changes according to time, place, and condition. So some people say, think that now writing the paper has become very easier, but so is not the case. I think now it is very difficult because what kind of paper you are going to produce, whether you are going to that the purpose of writing the paper, the writing or study the to understand and to search some of the new perspective, new ideas. So now it is challenging. Cut and paste has become easier, but that is not going to continue. And here the academic integrity is very important. Nobody is going to ask only for our promotion. We sometimes we do it, so we should not do it. I think if we are committed and if we are motivated, I think this should not be done. So let me now, there's a need to change the course content accordingly, according time, place, condition, requirement. I think we need to modify our syllabus. We need to develop our curriculum. Then we can compete and then we can remain over here. So all these changes, whatever the changes, require increasing adaptability among the teachers like all of you. So we should be ready enough. Means we all should be ready enough to accept the challenges. Unless until we are ready to accept the challenges, things will not move in the right direction. So let us proceed further. Already, reasoning again, as I highlighted that there's a need or new demand for new management skills within the institutions. So only we are going to change, things will not be in the right direction. Means top level management, administrative staff, support staff, and this MMTTC, let me tell you, because I have spent a long period, almost 2.5 decades, means 25 years of my career in cultivating and working in the academic staff college, then HRDC, and then now MMTTC. So I know how it is working and what kind of things would be there. So it becomes very important to look at it, to see these changes. So at this level, it is very important to, as already I have highlighted, for the teachers like Arpit is there, for the top level management, I think leap program is there, and I had organized, and many, I'm sure that the MMTC would have organized even in the past, to for the training provided, for providing the training to the to the support staff and to the AR like administrative staff over there. So this center is not only for the academic staff, for everybody. And NIPA has organized, is organizing a variety of program for the vice chancellors, for the directors, to bring a lot of vision and to develop the skills as how to take the university and the college at the higher pedestal. So how we can match, how we can be able to take our university or higher education that would be at par with the other top ranking institutions of the world. So that is also very much required. For salary and everything is very important. Let me also discuss with you what are the prevailing problems to which our society is having, or our higher education inadequate infrastructure facility. I think it is self-explanatory. You know pretty well. 40% positions, 30% positions are still vacant in our academic institutions, university and the college. There's a lower in enrollment ratio, hardly 0.5% ratio is the overcrowded classroom. So there is a study which has been done, and many studies we get to know that the ratio of the teachers taught, people teachers ratio, PPT, would be only in the range of 1 teacher is to 25 is to at most 30. But see, sometimes we need to address, with intent to address, or we are compelled to address 100 students. We need to teach 100 students to more than 50 students. It would become the crowd behavior. Means pedagogy is going to fail. Means we will not be able to uh, teach properly, nobody can teach. I think this is very important. So ratio should be maintained. How we are going to, for that we need to increase the faculty number, and those who have been retiring or have has already retired, there's no replacement. So this kind of structural issue is there. Overcrowd, gender and ethnic imbalances, that must be taken into account, and research is again negligible. So lot of effort being made on the part of the state also in order to improve. And what is the status of research and development in our own country? So here I would just like to share with you that some of the facts, eye-opening facts. I think researches per million in our own country, that is the data in 2020. I think 260 in case of our own country, and expenditure is only 0.62%, means 6% to 5%. See the other countries like Europe, it spends 2.25% of its GDP on research, and in case of the United States, 2.74%. And if you see the ratio, that is 4,300 researchers per million. Here, we don't have any kind, 260 only. Very, I think we need to improve. Case of China, which we think that we are the competitor, invest 0.211% of GDP on research, and 1,200 researchers per million. See how we are going to catch up, because we are going to take our country at par with all these countries. Means when we will develop, I think with the help of many indicators, we need to improve in terms of growth, in terms of per capita income, in terms of everything. So in order to meet all these challenges, what basically, of course, we need to do on the part of the management, means a university, there's a need to be responsive and able to change in accordance with the changing policy of government and external demands and societal needs. There should be an awareness of international perspective in the course of the country. Curriculum must be updated, keeping employers, government, and students into the mind. So we, as a whole, as a system, we need to do this. And of course, there's a need for inter-institutional cooperation, and there should be an awareness of institutions' role in national development and its contribution in local community or in society. So taking this into the mind, what we as a teaching faculty can do for our better pedagogy is very, very important. So a staff would have the following competencies. Of course, we are competent, and we all are, but just I'm reiterating that there should be an awareness and understanding of different ways in which students learn. We need to make our own strategy, devise our own strategy. And how it could be made possible if we have knowledge, commitment to a scholarship in the discipline, and to maintain professional standards and the current knowledge, current development. What are the current development that is there? We need to do, and of course, we need to use all these modern teaching. In terms of the research, we need to give the training and the skills as how to write a good research proposal. So that has become the, and to have the networking and fundraising. And of course, many organizations, many institutions are there through which it is possible, and many people are doing. So I think there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity to know in details if your MMTC will organize some of the persons who can come and discuss with the in great details about the research and development. What are the opportunities available? What are the avenues? What are the opportunities at the national level, at the international level? Because at the national level, like ICSR, University Grants Commission, Ministry of Science and Technology, so many organizations are there. How they fund? I think there should be some sort of lecture must be organized so that it will be very beneficial for you, all of you. So here, I think I should stop here, as I promised to you that I will definitely give you enough time for your own questions and the observation. So I should stop here, and I would discuss your questions, and the queries would be welcome now. Yes, please. Thank you so much indeed. I I spoke a lot. I tried to come to up to your expectation, but I don't know to what extent I have fulfilled your expectations. But let me tell you the what are the opportunities, what are the problems, what are the challenges basically before the higher education. So enormous challenges are there. At the same time, enormous opportunities are also there. So let us now discuss with you. So whatever I knew, I tried to impart it to all of you, but now it's your turn to come with your own ideas. What kind of practical challenges you are facing? Whatever the knowledge, whatever the, I think, time you have spent. I know that you all are very energetic, very dynamic, and lot of motivation you all are having. So come with your own questions, come with your own observation. Let me assure you that I will try my level best to answer your question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
So
sir.
I am looking
Thank you,
forward
sir.
to having your question.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Prachi.
Thank you, sir. Very useful knowledge.
Unmute, unmute please, unmute please. अनम्यूट करके बोलिए. Thank you so much for your appreciation, but I am looking forward to listening to you.
थैंक यू सर.
क्वेश्चन पूछे हैं आप लोग.
यस सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन था सर.
हाँ हाँ, आप क्वेश्चन, एनी क्वेरीज, एनीथिंग यू विश, सो आई विल ग्लैड.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था सर
जी
कि
बताएं.
जैसे हम अपने कॉलेज में अपना जो भी होता है देते हैं, लेकिन उससे अलग जो अपनी स्किल्स को लगातार बनाए रखने के लिए ऐसा हमें क्या करना चाहिए कि हमारी स्किल्स, क्योंकि मोस्टली जैसे मेरा कॉलेज अंडर ग्रेजुएट कॉलेज है, तो उसमें
ठीक है.
यूजी के बच्चे रहते हैं, तो रिसर्च का इतना रहता नहीं है, लेकिन कैसे हम स्किल्स में खुद को एंगेज रखें लगातार, ये इसके बारे में सर बताइए कुछ.
हाँ, ये वेरी प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चन. मुझे लेट मी ट्राई टू मेक एन अटेम्प्ट टू आंसर यू. देखिए, ऐसा है कि मुझे तो कभी कभी लगता है, अगर पूरी तरह से नहीं है, जब हमारे पास चैलेंजेस बहुत सारे होते हैं तो उसमें मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग शायद काम ज्यादा कर सकते हैं, कर लेते हैं. तो मुझे तो लगता है कि यही कोशिश कर, ज्यादा इम्पेडिमेंट्स हो. And I am giving you my own in the career, professional career of many. You meet many people, your head of the institution, your immediate boss. तो मुझे एक बार लगा वैसे कि एक जो बहुत ही एडवर्स टाइप का हमारे इमीडिएट बॉस थे, जब मैंने उनके जाने के बाद पूरा अपना लाइफ का 25-26 इयर्स का पूरा असेसमेंट किया कि व्हाट आई हैव डन एंड व्हेन, लेट मी शेयर विद यू. और वो दैट वाज वेरी पैथेटिक, वेरी ट्रॉमेटिक पीरियड आई पास थ्रू. सो इट वाज वेरी ट्रॉमेटिक, बट आई एम हैप्पी टू शेयर विद यू दैट उसमें सबसे ज्यादा, मुझे सबसे ज्यादा सेमिनार अटेंड किया था, सबसे ज्यादा पेपर लिखे थे. तो आई एम स्टिल रिमेम्बरिंग कि क्या ये कैसे पॉसिबल, एट दैट टाइम लगा कि कैसे होगा, लेकिन आई डिड इट. तो मुझे लगता है कि अगर हमें पैशन है, देखिए इस प्रोग्राम का ये कतई ये मकसद नहीं है, और ये पॉसिबल भी नहीं है कि 1.5 घंटे में या आप पूरे 1 महीना में सारी चीजों को जान ले. 1 महीना कुछ भी नहीं है जिंदगी के, अगर पूरा आप पीरियड ले. लेकिन वंस यू आर मोटिवेटेड, वंस यू आर सेंसिटाइज, आप कोई टीचर या कोई भी आपका एक कोलिग बात कर रहा है, लाइक मी और लाइक समवन, तो कुछ ऐसी बातें आपको मिल जाए, अगर ये इफ यू हैव ओपन योर माइंड, क्योंकि आपको शायद उसको दैट विल बिकम द रोल मॉडल फॉर यू, दैट विल बिकम द आई थिंक माइलस्टोन इन योर लाइफ. और उसको एज ए चैलेंज ले लिया, एज ए मोटिवेशन ले लिया, एज ए चैलेंज ले लिया, एंड यू हैव डन समथिंग व्हिच इज अनएक्सपेक्टेड ऑफ. तो ये बहुत पॉसिबल है। जब तक देखिए, इसके लिए जो आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा, मुझे लगता है कि अगर एक चीज हम समझ जाए तो ये आसान हो जाए, क्योंकि ये जो मुझे मिला है, या जो यू ऑल हैव ऑप्टेड टू बिकम ए प्रोफेसर, यंग यूनिवर्सिटी एंड द कॉलेज प्रोफेसर, मुझे तो लगता है कि इससे अच्छी चीज, इसमें नाम है, इसमें इज्जत है, इसमें शोहरत है, इसमें पैसे हैं। मुझे तो लगता है, अगर आपको न लगे या किसी को न लगे तो मुझे बताएं। मुझे लगता है कि इससे बढ़िया, इससे अच्छी चीज कुछ है ही नहीं। बताइए आप, यू कैन अर्न योर नेम, यू मीन्स यू, मी और एनीबडी कैन अर्न देयर नेम एंड फेम टू द एक्सटेंट पॉसिबल। हमेशा के लिए अमर होने का भी इसमें पूरा स्कोप है। आप और में नहीं है। आप देखिए, कहा ना कि देयर इज नो एनी स्कोप ऑफ रिटायरमेंट। इसमें क्या रिटायर होंगे आप बताएं? आप you are professor today, you will be remembered as professor as long as you are in this world, you, me or anybody XYZ. तो ये तो if you write a good book, if you write a good research paper, and let me tell you, everybody has the potential. ये चीज तो हम सबके पास, क्योंकि we have come through a very rigorous process. Whatever we have achieved, whatever we have got it is on the virtue of our own effort and our own caliber. इतना तो है ना, अपने on the basis of our own caliber we have got it. अब रही बात कि हम इससे मोटिवेटेड हैं कि नहीं, हम इसको एज ए पैशन लिया है कि नहीं। अगर एज ए पैशन लिया तब ये तो बहुत पॉसिबल है, चाहे कितना भी रिमोट एरिया में आज आप हैं, हम हैं या कोई भी है। इसके लिए एक ही दो चीज चाहिए, पैशन एंड मोटिवेशन। अगर है तो कोई दुनिया की ताकत नहीं रोक सकती है। ये मैं आपको चैलेंज कर रहा हूं, और आई एम सेइंग, एंड एवरीबॉडी हैज, एक ही चीज है जिसके, जो कि हर इंसान के पास उतना ही है, चाहे टीचर है तो भी है, चाहे गरीब है तब भी है, चाहे अमीर है तब भी। क्या चीज है जो कि उसमें कोई नेचर हैज नॉट डिस्क्रिमिनेटेड? वो है, क्या है? समय।
समय है सर।
समय है, टाइम है। बताइए, 24/7 एक मिनट भी घटा नहीं सकते, बढ़ा भी नहीं सकते किसी के लिए, चाहे राजा हो या गरीब हो या अमीर हो या टीचर हो या पॉलिटिशियन हो या प्राइम मिनिस्टर हो, कोई किसी के है उतना ही टाइम। तो ये कितनी बड़ी नेचर हैज गिवन टू ऑल ऑफ, हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू मैनेज द टाइम, ये है ना, दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट। अब एवरीबडी मैनेजेस हिज और टाइम इन हिज और इन हर ओन वे। अब हम कैसे, अगर जो चीज हमें सबसे अच्छा लगता है, ये बताइए, कोई दुनिया की ताकत रोक सकता है कि उसके लिए हम समय ना निकाल पाए, जिसको हम बहुत ज्यादा चाहते हैं? कोई भी चीज, आई एम नॉट नेमिंग इट, एजुकेशन हो गया, एज ए टीचर हो गया, एज ए प्रोफेशन हो गया, अपने बच्चों को चाहना, कुछ भी, एनीथिंग। आप देखिए, अगर हमारी चाहत कितनी है, हमारा पैशन उस चीज के लिए कितना, अगर हमें पैशन है कि हमें अच्छे आर्टिकल्स लिखने हैं, will your principal stop you? Will your vice chancellor stop you? Will your immediate boss stop you? Definitely not. If you wish to teach in a better way, if you want to have a very good rapport with your students, can anybody stop you? नहीं। तो अब ये तो हमारे, और ये इसका, why I am saying, इसका जो है ना, इसकी फिलॉसफी यही है, जो हम, ये सेंटर का फिलॉसफी है, not to teach you, not to educate you. You all are educated enough. You are intelligent enough. But what? Basically to give motivation, to give sensitization. Once you are sensitized, आपको लगता है ना ये काम जरूरी है, नहीं हमें अच्छा पढ़ाना है, कुछ भी अगर आपको समझ में आ गया, तो 1 महीने का एफर्ट इसी के लिए है कि कोई टीचर की बात आपको पसंद आ जाए। सारी चीजें तो नामुमकिन है, अगर हम कोशिश करेंगे तो देखिए ना, इसके ये ऐसी चीज है, हमने पहले किया, जो हमारा एजुकेशन है, यही तो है कि दुनिया की कोई भी ताकत हमसे ले नहीं सकती। ये बताइए, कोई ले सकता है हमसे? और हमारे पास पैसे हैं, शायद आज हैं कल ना हो। ये बहुत ही ऐसे लोगों को देखा गया, हमने खुद अर्न किया और हमने ही गंवा दिया, या चला गया किसी वजह से। लेकिन अगर इल्म है, शिक्षा है, एजुकेशन है, ये लोग कहेंगे अरे साहब वो बहुत बड़े विद्वान है। क्यों? कब कोई कहेगा ये ही इज ए ग्रेट स्कॉलर, समबडी विल, शी इज ए ग्रेट स्कॉलर? कैसे कहा जाएगा? जब हमारे पास स्कॉलरशिप होगा तभी तो होगा, नहीं तो नहीं हो सकता। तो मुझे
सर
लगता
गुड मॉर्निंग, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू।
है नो आई थिंक आई
मैं
एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू लिसन
मैं आपको यहाँ पे इसलिए रोक रही हूँ कि आपने बोला कि अगर आपके अंदर इंस्पिरेशन हो तो आप अपने एकेडमिक करियर में कुछ भी कर सकते हैं।
यस
But in the scene of college, there is no resource, there is no infrastructure, there is a compulsion of 10 to 5 o'clock. Then how will you just do? There is no any library, there is no even sittings area. तो ये तो कहना बड़ा मतलब हम लोगों के केस में बड़ा मुश्किल हो रहा है कि हम लोग 10 से 5 वहां रह के और अपने लिए कुछ कर पाए। इवन नेटवर्क नहीं होता, तो कैसे ये सब चीजें पॉसिबल हो पाएंगी? इस पे भी थोड़ा आप
मैं बता
प्रकाश डालिएगा तो
क्योंकि
हमें अच्छा लगेगा।
हम लोग बिल्कुल ही प्रैक्टिकल बात कर रहे हैं। आई एम शेयरिंग, क्योंकि इसका एक यही फिलॉसफी के कुछ अपने टीचर्स आए, अपने एक्सपीरियंस को बताएं, और अदरवाइज आप बहुत सारी किताबें ज्यादा पढ़ सकते हैं, ज्यादा इंटेलिजेंट है, लेकिन एक्सपीरियंस देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिव, देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिव टू एक्सपीरियंस, ये तो सभी जानते हैं। एज देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिव टू हार्ड वर्क, इन द सेम वे देयर इज नो अल्टरनेटिव टू एक्सपीरियंस। लेट मी शेयर विद यू। देखिए, ये थोड़ी सी मुश्किलात तो हो सकती है जो आपने कहा क्वेश्चन, फिर वो दैट डिपेंड्स हाउ पैशनेट यू आर, यू मींस यू आर IR और समबडी इज, तभी पॉसिबल है। इसलिए मैंने कहा आप ये बताइए, ये तो है ना, स्काई इज द लिमिट टू एवरीबॉडी, आपके लिए, हमारे लिए, जो मैडम जो करने बोल रहे हैं उनके लिए भी है। आप बताइए एडवर्स सिचुएशन को हम कैसे कन्वर्ट करेंगे अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए। मैं बता रहा हूँ, ये है ना कि इस प्रोफेशन में ऐसा है कि अगर हमारे पास तालीम है या और कैलिबर है, आज हमारी जिसमें एडवर्स सिचुएशन, जिस कॉलेज में, हम किसी दूसरे कॉलेज में जा सकते हैं, हम किसी दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी में जा सकते हैं, और ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होता। मुश्किल तो है, देखिए ये नहीं कह रहे कि ये बहुत ही आसान है कहना, लेकिन ये तो है ना कि फ्रीडम है, क्योंकि हम इस कॉलेज में एडवर्स सिचुएशन है, कल शायद वही पॉजिटिव हो जाए, कल ये भी हो सकता है कि कहीं हम ट्राई करके किसी और कॉलेज में, लेकिन हमारे पास बहुत सारी, हमारे पास फैमिली है, हमारे पास बच्चे हैं, हमारे पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं। अब इसको कैसे करेंगे, इट विल वेरी फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन, है कि नहीं? आप बताइए, यू मस्ट एग्री
यस
विद,
सर।
यू मस्ट एग्री विद मी। अगर हमने पैशन एज ए पैशन बता दिया, आप देखिए इवन IAS कोई ऐसा लड़का बन जाता है, ऐसी लड़की बन जाती है जो कि उसके बैकग्राउंड कुछ भी नहीं है, जीरो बैकग्राउंड में, जीरो का मतलब एडवर्स बैकग्राउंड। इवन आपने देखा, ये कोई मतलब ऐसी चीज नहीं है कि कोई हम ये पहेलियां सुना रहे हैं, लेकिन ऐसा है कि वो बन जाता है, बन जाती है, क्योंकि रिक्शा वाले का लड़का या बहुत ही गरीब लड़का है, गरीब फैमिली है, लेकिन हो जाता है। तो ये एक्सेप्शनल तो होता है, लेकिन वो किसी वजह से तो होता है, क्योंकि उसके पास इतना स्टेमिना, इतना पैशन, इतनी जो चीजें हैं कि वो कर लेता है। रही बात कि यहाँ जो आपने कहा, ये जरूर है, क्योंकि आज हमारे पास एडवर्स सिचुएशन है, कल शायद हो जाए। अगर इस उम्मीद में, इस एक्सपेक्टेशन में हम करें तो मुझे लगता है बहुत हद तक हमें कामयाबी मिलेगी। रही बात की, अब ये कहना आसान नहीं है कि ये प्रायोरिटी 5 6 7 प्रायोरिटी है, हम कितना प्रायोरिटी दे रहे हैं, ये तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ही है। वैसे रही बात कि हम हमेशा, हमारे दिमाग में यही बड़ा कुछ नहीं, हमें ये छोड़ करके हमको इतना अच्छा होना है किसी दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी में हो जाए, जैसे एक मिसाल के तौर पर, नॉट एन इजी फॉर एनीवन, बट एट द सेम टाइम वहीं हम इस तरह के क्यों वाइब ना तैयार कर दें या माहौल तैयार ना कर दें, हम इन्वायरमेंट तैयार करके वहीं हम सर्वाइव कर जाए, ये भी पॉसिबल है। एडवर्स सिचुएशन हमेशा नहीं रहता। मैंने जो कहा ये भी पहेलियां नहीं बताया, कहानी नहीं कहा, बिल्कुल आई adverse situation was there and that continued for 3 years. उसके बाद बिल्कुल नहीं रहा। I myself become the director. Even then उस दौर में मैं कुछ उतना नहीं कर पाया जिस दौर में traumatic period था। It continued for 3 years. So just I am sharing my experience. To what extent you are passionate with your responsibility. Job तो हम नहीं कहेंगे, responsibility. अब अगर मान लिया कि हम कैसे बैलेंस करता, बैलेंस करना तो ये अपने आप में एक ये है। अगर हम सिर्फ पागल बने रहे, लेट मी टेल यू कि हमको बढ़िया बुक लिखना, खाना भी कभी भूल गई, मिसाल के तौर, पीपल डू इट। उनको देखा कि टॉप 200 साइंटिस्ट में आई सॉ देयर नेम्स, तो कुछ नहीं, वी आर सिटिंग एट आवर होम, वी हैव कम टू द होम एट 5 6, आई हैव देखा कि द होल नाइट द पर्सन इज स्लीपिंग। So ये passion, yeah, that is called passion. I'm not saying, but we need to use our wisdom. अगर सारी चीजों को बैलेंस करके चलेंगे तो सब चीज में एवरेज ही तो हम रहेंगे। वैसे एक्सेल तो नहीं करेंगे, एक्सेल करने के लिए कोई ना कोई तो प्रायोरिटी देनी पड़ेगी कहीं ना कहीं, जिसे कहते हैं एक वर्ड, वी नीड टू सेक्रीफाइस, वी नीड टू सेक्रीफाइस। यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड शाहरुख खान कि कुछ नहीं, भूल जाओ कि बीमार हैं, क्या करना है, कुछ नहीं, पागल हो जाओ कामयाबी के लिए, तब कामयाबी मिलेगी। सो इन द सेम वे इन एवरी लाइन आई थिंक, कहीं कि हमारा बच्चा है, बच्चा अभी भूखा होगा, रो रहा होगा, किसी के लिए, फॉर यू, फॉर मी, फॉर लेडीज, फॉर जेंट्स, फॉर एनीबॉडी, तो वो तो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ी बहुत तो करना पड़ेगा, तभी जा करके आई थिंक वी विल बी एबल टू एक्सेल। एंड ये जो करेंगे तो अपने लिए करेंगे, तो अपने लिए जीना अपने लिए भी जरूरी है, नॉट फुल बट एटलीस्ट some portion must be spared for ourselves, for our own satisfaction. Yeah, this is my last word to all of you, that we must do for our family, we must do for society, but we must do something for ourselves, for our own motivation, for our own passion, for our own name and the fame, and I think satisfaction. So with these words, once again, I am very, very thankful to the director of this center and other staff and other of my colleagues and all of you, basically, who is basically the future of this great nation. So this nation is requiring your input, is requiring your contribution in a big way, so that our country can shine. And we could also feel proud of our own nation, of our own society, of our own people, of our own everybody. And that is the purpose of this program. So once again, I am thankful to all of you indeed for so much patient hearing. And we will meet on other occasion, on another academic event. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Very
Thank
well
you.
said, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you everybody. So I learned
Thank you, sir.
from all of you.
Thank you, sir.
So much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
और भी क्लास
Thank you,
होगी
sir.
आपकी?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You must have the class. Thank you. You must have the class, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is there any break in between?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
15 minutes.
sir. 15 minutes.
Okay, so I should not eat your time, consume any more time. So happy and have a great day and have a great, I think, program. Thank you so much. And
Once again,
I
thank
wish
you,
you all
sir.
the very best.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you all the very best.
Thank
So
you, sir.
I am in Jamia, as I was introduced. So whenever you visit Jamia or Delhi, you visit me. I will remember you by this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
So I'm
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.